Man, world's best husband. Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm chilling here, sipping on a nice caffeinated beverage. You know how I do it. Stay ready. You don't have to get ready, but you know who it is. It's your boy, Big Tank. Hey, coming at you with another, pre-recorded live stream. My fault, my fault, my fault. I tell some people that I've been on YouTube for 15 years ish, but you can't find my other channel because it's not up in them. Well, no, I do have one that's still up, but I'll drop the dime on myself on that later. That's the merch from back then. Big Preacher Fit, BP Fit. Oh yeah, I used to get down. I used to throw that iron around up here on YouTube. But that's another story. I just noticed I had the shirt on. That's why I said something. But we're gonna have a good show today. We're gonna talk about a little high desert morphing. You know what I'm saying? We got Mr. Antoine from High Desert Pythons on, and Hank's wild about herps. But I think he might be a little wilder about herps than I am. But we finna find out though. So let's bring him up, y'all. Let's bring him up. What's going on? What's going on?
What up, big homie? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm chilling. Every time I get a chance to sit down and do this, man, this is the highlights of my week at all times.
Yeah, man. I'm in the snake room as usual, man. Like if I'm not on somebody's podcast and talking about snakes, I'm on the phone with the AirPods on talking about snakes. So man, ain't no thing to me, bro. So we're gonna have a good time. I don't know how long you plan on having me, but if I start to ramble, and just let me know. You know
Hey.
what I'm saying? your boy be talking, you know what I'm saying?
Guys, I'm right there with you. And I'm glad you said that, because since this is a pre-record, if I go an hour and 1 minute, they ain't gonna let me upload. So I'm gonna be watching the clock though. I'm gonna be watching the clock. Hey man, give the folks a little introduction to yourself. I already know the Python people know who you are, at least they should. But I got some fish people I know that's gonna be watching. There's some folks who just stumbled onto this here live stream.
Yeah.
Let them know a little bit about you.
Antoine Hood, the owner of High Desert Pythons. I'm from Jersey originally, but now I've been in California the past decade. So, just doing the ball python thing, doing the YouTube thing, doing the Instagram thing, spreading my love for these animals around the world, and having a good time doing it, man. Just selling animals and meeting cool people along the way. So that's pretty much it, man.
Already. Now,
shout out to Spider-Man, though. I'm with this.
Hey, well, Incredible Hulk is up there looking down on me. But
heck yeah, that's what's up, man.
And a YouTuber sent me that. Just showed up in the mail. Hey man, this is you remind me. Hey, thanks. Man, how long? I'm gonna ask that question first. How long have you been breeding pythons? And the second half of that, when did you start having reptiles of any type, let alone python?
All right, so I've been breeding for profit ball pythons for about 10 years now, something like that. Yeah, for profit since 2012. But I've been keeping reptiles pretty much since the 80s, man. Like even as a kid living in New Jersey, we used to find like salamanders and like DK snakes and garter snakes in the empty lots out in the park. You know what I mean, too. So even back then, I had my little fanny pack. You remember how we had the little fanny packs in the 80s? I scoop a bunch of them up, put them in my big breeding tank at the house, and sell them to other kids for like $2 and stuff, man. And it was nuts, man. So I was just always a nerd about that. I've always been a different kid, man. And that's the thing about reptile people. I always say that we're all different. You know what I mean? Like from outside of the norm, because we mess with reptiles and we rather mess with reptiles than people. And That's exactly how it was too, man. So, so I did that growing up. Took a big break. Life happened. I'm big into martial arts too. So between then and like the past, 10, 15 years, I've been in the fight business. I got my own fight promotion. I got my own martial arts gym. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. It's up to I teach boxing and Muay Thai. So so between the fight world and the reptile world, man, it's just one big thing together. and I'm trying to get all of UFC people involved in the reptiles too, man. So it's crazy. It's a fun time, man. So I got some of the toughest people in the world that you see bloodied up in the octagon, scared to touch a bearded dragon. You know what I mean? it's weird, man. That's a direct quote too. I did a What's in the Box video on my channel, I think like a year ago, and my friend Alex Perez was fighting for the UFC flyweight title, and he came to my gym to do a seminar, and we did like What's in the Box thing. He said out loud, he's like, "Dude, I will fight anybody in the UFC in that octagon right now. I'm not touching that animal." So I thought that was always. To me, that just to show like the psychology of humans, and I don't know if that's human evolution, and that's something where like some people's heritage or family got attacked by some animal back in the day, and that's the kind of genetic memory that makes people afraid of these animals. But like I never had that, man, and it was always weird. Like I was never scared of spiders, you know what I mean, like stuff like that. Never real like insects. Always saw snakes and amphibians. Is always right away was just drawn to them. So. I just think I didn't have that gene, or I'm just stupid. So I don't have that survival instinct, man. So yeah, so man, it's just like I said, I'm just loving this whole thing, man, and just showing these animals to different people, and like just breaking a bunch of stereotypes too, man. So breaking like the whole snake stereotype, everybody thinks that snakes are slimy animals and they're all poisonous, and my grandma told me a million times when she was alive, God rest her soul, they the devil. I'm sure you heard stuff like that a million times, and and even a big one, black people not supposed to be around these reptiles. That's white people stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I know you heard that one. We've all heard that one too.
Yeah.
So so I'm just trying to everything I do, man. I'm just trying to like break those color lines and those stereotype lines, man, and show that it's not just a particular demographic that can be involved with stuff like this. So. You know what I mean? The same way I did into the fight world, like in the mixed martial arts world, like there was a time where it was like predominantly like white guys and Brazilian guys in that cage fighting, and it really wasn't a whole big like African-American representation of it too. So I just always pride myself on being the person that have the courage to step out and put my face out there and try it. You know what I mean? I mean, by no means I'm no Jackie Robinson, but not at all. So I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm just kind of like pioneer. Let's get it clear like that. You know what I mean? But I'm not scared to put myself out there, So I got no problem doing that. And I think the past couple of years over the pandemic was the best time for me to start doing it, because literally everybody was sitting around doing nothing, So and I sat around the house with a bunch of animals that I didn't think I was going to be able to sell because nobody knew who I was, and it was a real like limited group of people at that point. So I was like, you know what, man. Let's start getting your face out there, getting involved on Instagram and YouTube and talking to the people and keeping yourself busy in the community so people can know and trust you. You know what I mean? And that was the genesis of the whole thing and me being where I am right now.
Okay, good deal, man. Good deal. There's a lot of parallels I see in there, especially talking about the being different or whatever. Man, if it wasn't human, and I caught it and put it in something.
Yep.
Cage, tank, cardboard box, something. I used to ride bulls, talking about being in the genre. Oh man, I had a lot of black friends in my neighborhood, but just in general, if I left the house and I was going somewhere, I was probably the only black person there. So yeah, I can identify with all that. I'm talking about mixed martial arts. I got a lot of partners that used to fight. I was so into boxing. My wife, she know nothing about no boxing when we first met. Been married 25 years. We used to get every pay-per-view, and whenever my friends would come and watch the pay-per-view, my wife could break down fighters for them. And as the fight would be going, the fight would be going, I showed her how to read. I mean, nothing is guaranteed, but how to read how a fight is changing during the fight,
and fatiguing, and
what he needs to do, right now and man, they used to be mad, man, and they looking at me, and I'm just over there like,
she right.
What you want me to say? Man, I can identify with that there, man. I can identify with that. Me raising dogs and selling them, and hey, man, look, parallels for real.
Yeah, man. I used to breed dogs too when I was in North Carolina, man. I bred pit bulls for 10 years, so Yeah, man. Just always doing something outside of like my what you call quote unquote regular job. As a kid, I had two passions growing up my entire life. I wanted to run my own martial arts gym, and I wanted to like breed animals. And I never ever deviated from that goal. I've like sidestepped it and did stuff on the side to get to it, but that was always the goal. I'm always going to be a guy. I was never built to like have the quote unquote regular job. You know what I mean? Which I always have. I've been working since I was 14 years old, but it was always a means to an end in the long run. And now that my youngest kid is about to be out of the house, for lack of a better word, and they all be off doing their own thing. Now I could be a little bit more irresponsible and take a little bit more chances, you know. So, so I mean, because I did play safe for a long time just because like I'm a father, you know what I mean, and I didn't want to ever put myself in a position where I was like ass out and like my kids had to worry about eating, you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
I make sure I always stay gainfully employed. But now into my 40s and beyond, this is this time for me to like start stepping out into those big adventures and taking a lot more risk and going a lot bigger than I have. So, excuse me, I'm ready, bro. Like, I mean, am I scared? Yes. There's a lot of unknowns, yes, but I think if I can make it here in California, what I'm doing when I move back to the East Coast in a couple of years in the Georgia area, I think I'll be fine.
got you, got you, got you. So what do you have any other snakes besides the ball pythons before we roll and dive off into this?
Oh nope, just ball python strictly, man. I think I will get I'm going to get a couple like pets, like some chondros and some bolins and probably a Gila monster soon. But those will just be like specifically pets. But right now, just ball pythons, man. I want to master these things, and I got some specific projects I want to work on. So I want to give them all my energy right now.
Got you, got you. All right, now let's roll into these ball pythons. Okay, right now, what what genes are you focused? I use the word focus because focus is not
So
in it's not in concrete, but what are you focused on right now as we speak?
So, like being around so long, I see a lot of people jump on specific genes and then like they'll invest in it and then they'll breed the heck out of it and reproduce it. So I decided to go a different route where I'm thinking 3, 4, 5, 6 years ahead, and I'm working on multi-gene recessive. So I have every major recessive gene, either like 100% hets or like or visual like clues that they could be pos het, except for like probably monarch. I got monsoon, ultramel, clown, pied, albino, lavender albino, you name it. So but some of my biggest genes now working with in all of those is hurricane, asphalt, and stranger. So you know what I mean. So a lot of like the mid to super high end stuff. And as far as projects go, every big project for my breeder collection back here, all these are breeder females, is to hit the eventual 5 gene recessive. You know what I mean? So all 85 breeder females are here. It's all a bunch of different avenues to hit that one big recessive male that I could just reduce my collection down to and just breed him over the years and just, you know what I mean, reduce everything down to maybe 20, 30 breeder females and do it like that, man. So with the Sunset Puzzle Project, the Ultramel Batman Project, the Enhancer G-Stripe Clown Project, it's all a means to eventually all move into one center, one ultimate ball python. So that we're not going to know what it looks like yet. And for all we know, it might be ugly as all get out, but it'll be genetically powerful though. So that's the hard part, you know what I mean? So when you put so many genes in these things, like I see so many multi-gene codom animals that people have like in pied and stuff, and they just like, oh, they start yapping off 7 genes, and you're like, is it really though?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you prove that thing out? Oh no, it's only 6 months old. So, but you're confident it's only those genes? Oh yeah, because I've seen every other example. Yeah, okay, all right. So it's a lot of that around here, but yeah, man, that's just the goal, man. I'm trying to make, and then too and parallel to that, I want to make a ball python that never browns out as it gets older and never dulls. So I'm doing a lot of stuff with like brightening genes, like LSR Fire, Lace, and Enhancer Desert Ghost too. So yes, I'm just stacking those genes on there, man. So I'm gonna have a whole tub full of racks. When you pull those things open, I'm like, sir, put these sunglasses on first before you look at these. You know what I'm saying? So
Most definitely. That's cool.
yeah,
Hey,
man.
that's cool. I can say, especially hearing the way you're breaking down how you are doing it, it's refreshing to me because I know I hit everybody pretty much with the same type of questions, but you'd have flipped me on the other side of the scale because one main thing I would tell people, I say first, you see the big timers with the hot right now combo, bow.
Mm-hmm.
And then people behind them are like, oh, woe is me. Let me continue to matriculate these I have out
Yeah.
until I can. And then I'm like, well, hey, he didn't have that one a month from now, 2 months from now, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, your snake room can put something out, whether it be
Right.
from some rudimentary single gene, or it's still out there and it's still
Yep.
possible.
Mm-hmm.
And to see you working from here, whereas if you was to stand in front of a project, you could focus on and say, okay, he's working on this Batman, Ultra Male, da da da. But then step back from it though, and you can see where that is its own entity by itself, but they're all working
Mm-hmm.
for the surprise aspect and for that big, and,
Mm-hmm.
I like that, man. I like that because I have my own feeling about the monsoon, the monsoon gene, and there's so much more that can go into as it is just as
Yeah.
as the monsoon. There's so much more that I think needs to go into it, and just to hear you say that you're not limiting by with that, and at all times you're
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, but so like I have a monsoon project. It's the Desert Ghost monsoon, and I think the best way to go is not to put other pattern mutations in it because it's such an overbearing gene. You know what I mean? Like I like a lot of monsoon stuff. I see when people post, "Oh, this is my Mojave monsoon." I'm like, "Cool." This is my leopard monsoon. I'm like, "That's different. That snake is different from that snake." I'm like, "Okay." Too. So it just beat no matter what strong gene you put into it. So my goal with the monsoon project is to put different color mutations, other color recessives into it. Like first I'm going with Desert Ghost. So when I do this pairing, I can get, if all the odds come in my favor, I can hit Desert Ghost monsoons, which would be dope. But I also want to put in the lavender and ultramel as well. It kind of looks like just color change genes and see what it does when you hit it with those type of stuff. So, but I don't think the way to go with that project is piling like pastel and pinstripe and fire on it and things like that. So,
Yeah.
but but like I said, there's still a lot to go with it, man. Too, like I said, even with clown, people still making like there's a bunch of clown stuff right now that doesn't exist yet, but I'm working on it. So like the Hellbender project and the Violator project, I'm working with right now with some real dark genes. Yeah, I still hasn't. I check like every month on Morph Market and online. I'm like, okay, nobody still made it yet. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's my style though. A lot of people, like a lot of newer breeders and people on my Patreon, they always ask me like, how do I start my breeding season? And what do I look for when I try to put stuff together? The first thing I do, bro, I go on Morph Market and see what's there available on Morph Market, and don't make that. So, there's probably 1,000 pastel clowns on Morph Market. If I do make a pastel clown, it's because I missed on like the other 5 gene thing. You know what I mean? That's a residual, and that's never the goal. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's how I do it. I kind of see. I want what's not available because then you can set your own prices on it too.
Yeah.
So if there's something, and that's what times a lot of people when they're comparing prices and trying to haggle people prices on Morph Market about stuff. If there's one Ultramel clown available for sale on Morph Market, and I saw him last year for $6,500, and there's one on there now, and it's the only one that's been there for the past 9 months, and someone wants $9,000 for it, and you need that in your project,
you're gonna pay $9,000 for it.
Yeah, you're going to. You should, because you got to think about it in the long run. Stop thinking about what you're doing with it now, but what's going on later on, like from years to come, and what's the ultimate goal in that project. You know what I mean? So when people just say, "Oh, I just want to do dreamsicles," I'm like, and then what? They're like, "Oh, there's dreamsicles." I'm like, but you can buy a dreamsicle now. They're like, well, I can't. I'm like, yeah, you can literally buy a dreamsicle now. It's a paycheck snake. Like 10 years ago, when they were $30,000, that's different, So that's another thing too, man. People get to these projects, they keep missing and missing and missing. If you can buy it, now you can stop chasing it. You know what I'm saying? So keep chasing it. If you do want a specific project, keep chasing it until you can allocate the funds to purchase it yourself. And if you still can't, and if it's still not available, then you keep making it.
Gotcha. Ready, man.
This coffee's still good.
Well, mine unfortunately,
you
I
killed it
shorted
all.
myself.
You killed it all in the green room, man.
Yeah. I shorted myself because
man.
normally it's in one of these, man. But I took a little extra nap, you know, and they kind of shortened my time. That's my fault, though. My fault.
Nah, man, it's
Mismanagement.
I'm wide awake from this stuff now, so we keep going, bro.
Mismanagement.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, look, the wormhole, man, that is the ball python morphs. When I say I had ball pythons back in the day, but no, they were your standard regular, normals. But let's say I'm kind of extreme, but my two favorites would be blackhead, ultra male. But I believe in extreme opposing coloration. Like that's, to me, that's just you've done it. You've done it for me. And there's just that I can mention stuff, and I guess because I'm on the outside looking in, and I haven't been tainted, by the hype beast.
Yeah.
I'll
Good.
say stuff.
Keep it that way.
Yeah, right. I'll say stuff, and people will be like, because I would hit them with every time they come on in the green room. I do it first because I don't know how sensitive they are. I'd hit them with hey, I really don't like monsoon. I hit them with that and then just pause.
Dude,
and they're like,
I'm not.
Well, why, man?
I'm not even saying what jeans I don't like you anymore because I got accused of killing whole people's projects and stuff too. I made a meme last year about hitting Gene Woma, and I'm still not letting that one up. I just said it was a stupid name. I didn't say the gene was bad. I know. People started tagging Kevin in the post. Let's see what Kevin has to say about it. What if you created as a breeder over the years? He worked all this time. I'm like, okay, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's a stupid ass name. It is. Tell me I'm lying.
No, I can't tell you that.
Then we already got Womas. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I got a lot of them like that.
Yeah, it's just weird to me, man. And then, because back in the days, man, the ball python game was parallel to the marijuana game, man. It was everybody trying to sell their new morph, so they were just coming up with these names to kind of come at you and stuff too. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh, I got the new Aquafina hydroponic pied and stuff like that too. You're like, ooh, I want to see what that is, and it worked though. And that's the crazy thing about it, man. The thing that kept this industry afloat more than anything is the marketing. You know what I mean? So I mean, just look at what Jessica Belka did to a lot of these genes and names and added stuff to them and created these new combos and made like legit expensive videos behind them too. Because he went through he has a degree in marketing and he uses that skill in this brand to promote his stuff too. And that's smart, man. So what I wanted to do is before I got to the point where I made these ridiculous animals and all these raw firsts and things like that too. Before I could sell those animals, I had to decide if I could actually sell myself. And that's something everybody needs to realize when they start forming a business and they're trying to get people to purchase animals from them, especially when you up into 4 and 5 figures out of people's pockets. You know what I mean? You got to, 1, be able to sell yourself, but 2, make sure people can trust you. And 3, make sure when people purchase from you, they have a good feeling when they purchase from you. How many times you bought something from somebody and you spent 3, 4, 5 grand on it and you got it and you got home, it was like, fuck, man. We've all done it, right? We've all had buyer's remorse about everything, man. And it's our responsibility as a business and as an entity to mitigate that and have the least amount of times people feel like that's possible. You know, I never want to make a person buy an animal from me and they feel hustled. I want them to buy it from me and they're like, yo, look at I want them proud to show this animal on Instagram, on their YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Every time somebody come by the house, I'm like, yo, I mean, yeah, forget all that, but look at what I got from Antoine, bro. Look at it. That's how you want to be, man. You want to be such a good marketer for yourself and such a powerful entity that people are doing all the advertising for you. How many unboxings you see you see unboxings through YouTube and Instagram from the same 5 breeders every week. You know what I mean? Like every week. And that, dude, you just spent $8,000 on this animal And he just did a whole video advertising for the person you just bought it from. That's genius.
Yep. Yep.
I didn't have to pay. And it's other people with platforms too, you know. Like when I bought those pair of double head sunset puzzles, whatever. I was like, Miguel was like, "Hey, you want to be on my video?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I want to be on your video." You know what I'm saying? So, and then like, and in those two time periods, honestly, that's what got me. Miguel put me really on the map twice. You know, so initially he saw when I made that super black pastel het pie like in 2017. I had maybe 300 followers on Instagram, and he hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, can I repost this on my story?" I'm like, "Okay." Boom, went to sleep, woke up, had like 1,800 like followers and stuff too. And you know, and honestly, dude, I didn't know the guy from Adam. I didn't even know he was a YouTuber at the time. I didn't even know that he lived in California, like an hour and 20 minutes south of me. And he was just he just reached out to me, something he did not have to do at all, and just kind of helped elevate me too. And now in this era of reptile keepers, it's way different from like in the early 2000s, man, where people will always see each other as competition and cutting each other's throats. So that's a big difference. So, and I think like Miguel, Billy from Mutation Creation, and a lot of those guys with these big platforms, they put people on and they give you that little boost, and you take that. If they give it to you, you run with it. You know what I mean? You don't be lazy about it. You know what I mean? You take that baton and you run your ass to the finish line with it, and that's what I've been doing ever since, man. And I do that for everybody else.
Don't be lacking in the back end. Oh.
Yep. don't be slacking in the back and none of that.
Yeah, be slacking in the back. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I think that and to me that was infectious seeing people like that, because by no means I don't even have maybe 10% of either one of those guys' audience. You know what I mean? But what I do have is the ability to help bring everybody on like that too. So if I see the same people all the time posting my like commenting on my posts, my silly reels, or I'm making fun of myself too, and you're interacting in a positive way, hell yeah, I'm following you, man. Like, I'm not gonna have one of those accounts where I got 14,000 followers and I'm following 8 people. Like, that's corny as shit to me, man. You know, like, how you gonna join Instagram looking at the same 8 people's feed all the time? You know, with their little stupid snakes. You know, so dude, like I'm following over 5,000 people. So to me, that ratio never mattered to me. It was never a thing. If you had cool content and you had like a decent amount of posts and you're staying active, I have no problems following it all. So, so for those of you who watch this later, if you comment down below and keep the comments active down here, and with your IG, I'll make sure I go in and follow you too. Okay, if I'm not already.
Already. Yeah, most definitely, man.
Yeah, man.
That's all right.
Yep.
Because that's how this thing's supposed to be, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't know about the cutthroat days. When I came in, I was telling a few people, T Keys, few folks, you know, Nicole. I'm like, man, you know, it's just so welcoming. So, you know, because coming from the fish side, yeah, fish people, I know. I'm not gonna bash y'all too much. I still love you. You see the tanks behind me. But
bro,
yeah,
the fish people.
But
the fish people are years ahead of everybody else, though, man. As far as like technology and husbandry and stuff too, man. The fish people got it dialed in, man. You know what I mean? So like they've been around forever. So like the coral community too, man. Those guys are monsters, man. And they're like, you know, putting real stuff together and making serious money. So all the fish people that's watching this, man, shout out to you guys, man. Like I know, and it's intimidating. I'm scared of it, man. I'm scared to put a saltwater tank together. I'm like, man, there's too many tubes. And I start seeing tubes and filters and shit like this. I'm going to that store, and I'm like, oh, hell no, man. This thing going to be dead inside of a week, man. Hell no. Nah, I respect the hell out of the aquatics, man. That's a beast.
I got the cheat code, man. All you got to do, man, whenever you decide, just hit me up and message. We ain't got to let nobody know. I got the cheat code,
man. Give me some mud dwellers, man. Give me some cichlids and some Oscars and the alligator slapping turtle. Throw the shits in the For real, man. That's about as much as I go, man. I've had some African cichlids before. I've had some Oscars, And then I've had like the alligator snapper like at the old house, man, and they were just fine. So
Yeah.
but anything past that, we had to check the pH levels and no, fuck.
Hey,
I mean, yeah,
my
I mean,
wife
I'm
was
sure
like, "Hey, no, go ahead.
No, I was like, I'm sure I could get good at it, but I know it takes a lot of time, and I already do so much stuff. You know what I mean? So like, for me to get into the aquatics, I would have to obsess over the way I obsess over these animals too. You know what I mean? And that would have me just taken away from the animals here. So I mean, it's just if I do get into aquatics somewhere down the line, cool. But like not right now, I just can't do it, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's a whole thing. Like I'm 2:00 in the morning. I don't know. I may have shot you a message before at that time. Or I'm I'm up shooting messages because I'm gonna be in here. I'm gonna be doing something. My wife was like, "Man, I wanna, you give me one of those saltwater tanks in the living room." So I said, "Who gonna take care of it, right?" It's like, well, I said, "Do you see me with salt? I've had salt water, right? Have you?" I said, "You see me with salt water? Any salt water, anything?" No, I say, yeah, let's keep it that way, cuz. No. Let me love it. I wanna continue to love this. I don't have get no sleep, look, my health declining because I'm trying to take care of that tank in the living room. No.
Hey. And then me, I do some ignorant shit like get an octopus or something like that. That's always getting like
he got a jellyfish tank,
Yep. Some weird stuff, but that killed me. Man, I know me. I know me too well, man. I'm gonna stay in my lane for now.
That's all right. That's all right. So how many altogether? How many ball pythons you got right now?
I know I have 85 breeder females, 15 breeder males, and between like grow ups and inventory, another like 75, 80, something like that. So somewhere in the 200s, I would say right now. It changes every day. Like tomorrow or when the weather breaks, I'm moving like 19 animals will be gone. But my incubator's full right now to the brim. I have no space in my incubator, so I have eggs hatching. I have eggs due to hatch every week almost for the rest of the year.
Okay.
So it's a little bit overwhelming right now, but I mean, I'm trying to get in my organizational bag. It's a little bit better now too. So it's about just under 200 right now, but my main stable is 85 females and 15 males.
Gotcha. What are you feeding?
Rats, and I do all live. So I do rats, and then they have these other rodents out here that we call desert field mice from Africa. But so we just leave it like that.
I got you.
But those are for my problem feeders. So I might have like 10 adult girls who kind of hit that 1,000-gram mark and started acting funny, but they take those other things, man, like it's nothing. So it's not really slowing them down for the season.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You growing them out? You raising them?
Just the mice. That's it. The rats, I got a delivery guy. So what I end up doing with that is there's no pet stores. The closest pet store for me is probably 100 miles. For some reason in the desert, they just don't do well. And it's just people with a lot of like ideas where they love animals, but they're bad business people. Like the 12 years I've been here, there's been like 4 different pet stores in the same building, and none of them have made it because I tell them, hey, breed your own rats. You'll make your money that way. No, it's too much. No. I'm like, the money I spend on rats every week could literally pay your rent here. I'm telling you, what I mean? And then they never got around to it. So I got a guy who delivers from Mojave, like to my place. And then I provide all the live animals for everyone in the city. So like the population of 26,000 people, I would say I have a group of about 350, 400 people who all have like ball pythons, who have boas, colubrids that all eat live rats and mice. So I put in a big order. I get it all for like, the breeder wholesale price, and they pay retail. So like I get my small rats for my adult ball pythons for like $1.49 or something like that, and I sell them for like $3.50. So when it's all said and done, my rat bill every month, like it should be, my rat bill every month should be about $2,250, where it's down to like maybe $375. So yeah, so it works out, man.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah. So then like this week I actually had a post about on my Patreon asking people like what my order was, and before the delivery charge, the $30 delivery fee, my whole entire bill for this week, all these animals in here was only $60. Gotta make it work, man. You gotta find a way, bro. So I'm all about it. And now I'm at the point where I have other options as well. So I got a guy in Bakersfield who's a real good friend of mine. This guy, and there's another breeder in Victorville, which they're all almost the same exact distance from me. So for some reason they don't have what I need that week, I have all those other options. And most of the time I have them bidding for my order. I'll send them the list, and whoever gives me the better price, that's who I go with.
Gotcha. Already.
Yep.
That's cool, man. That is real cool. Look, it's crazy because I was gonna ask you how many people for them to fail like that. I mean, for one, having all those stores in one place, that'll do it to you.
Mm-hmm.
But
yep.
if you have that many people, I don't know. That's because I'm the pet guy, the animal guy, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you could find a way. Just check, the temperature of
Right.
the people in the area and work from there. That's crazy.
Well, see, like and usually it's like people who own it like refuse to like have any kind of like social media presence. Like everybody still they still doing advertisements in the local paper, and like you know what I mean. That like the swap sheet, the regular daily newspaper, and sometimes you might see a Facebook ad, but there's no real way to bring people in there and to show them in town. Every successful business in this town, the common denominator is their social media presence. There's 4 gun stores in this town, and the most successful one, you see it on your Instagram feed all the time. You know what I mean? And It's free to post on Instagram too. And the same thing with, everything else, like my martial arts gym. I think my martial arts gym probably has the biggest social media presence here. That's why it's the most popular. I don't do any sponsor posts because, you know what I mean, it's a local area. And like, I'm essentially the most popular person in the city, which is weird. It's so like whether it's because of like martial art, if I go to a bar, which I very rarely do, there's somebody going, "Hey, you're hot as a python," or "Hey, you're the guy that I saw on Bellator," and you know what I mean, stuff too. So, yeah, just putting yourself out there, and they just refuse to. They just refuse to keep up with the times, and also to breed their own rodents, because if they're buying rodents from somebody else and trying to finesse that whole thing, I'm not spending $300.50 on 65 medium rats. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to you for that when I can go somewhere else. And when they buy stuff, either from Amazon or whatever wholesaler they're using, they have to mark up the prices. So I think a lot of people, what they were doing was saying, well, you have this thermostat here for $160, but I can go when I go to the mall in Palmdale, an hour from here, I can stop by PetSmart here or this pet store and get it for $25 cheaper. So I'm gonna just go there, and that's what everyone's biggest complaint was. So now I don't know how true that was, but that was a common denominator, because I'm asking them every time, "Hey, why do you think you're shutting down?" And it was always the same reason. So
most definitely. Hey, what do you got your snakes living on?
Oh, I use Reptichip. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to have it superhuman here. Like outside of the past 2 weeks here, man, it's like super dry. But now this is the humid this place has been in a long time, because we got a little monsoon in Death Valley last week that caused like mudslides and everything too. So it's been, but yeah, I can't do anything like paper or like aspen here, man. So I got to go with cocoa.
Okay, gotcha. What are your housing containers?
So these are the Freedom. Most of these are the Freedom Breeder 40 series tubs, but I got these custom made PVC racks by a local guy from here. I just wanted to try like a different project, so I did some of the adult tubs side by side. And to be honest with you, man, it's a failing project. Like, I don't like it. It looked good the first year, but because of the weight of some of the tubs and the females, the PVC is starting to like warp and stuff too.
Yeah.
And they're making and some of them are making gaps. So I have to keep the lighter snakes away from the rest of them, because over time, you will have a gap and they'll get out, too. So, so I'm actually switching back to Freedom Breeders. So I just put in the order for the 1065 grow out rack, and then I'm gonna probably replace those with the 1040s and add 2 more rows to the top of it. So yeah, so I'm gonna go back all the stainless steel racks and the hybrid racks from here, and keep it a little bit more uniform in here, you know. So.
Oh, really? So what do you find is the easier way? Easy. No. They're gonna make me revamp that question. Would you or have you vended at a convention?
Okay. This is a great question, actually. So I used to talk a lot of crap about how I didn't need to vend or I didn't want to, because I mean, honestly, I don't need to vend, but I think I owe it to the community to show a presence, especially my local shows. I'm in California. It's like we got Pomona this weekend. We just had Anaheim like a month or so ago, and we have some of the big shows here. But I think I do owe it to the community that I can show my face and bring some stuff out there from time to time so they can see some of the projects I'm working on in person. But I learned at the Anaheim show, you have to be able to gauge what the target audience is there. Like the Anaheim show was not the show to bring quadruple heads and triple head girls and just normals that was like foreign projects that you would take to like Tinley or Arlington that people would come and actually invest in. So those kind of shows, you want your Blue Eyed Lucy's, your pies, and your banana stuff. That's what everybody buys there. You know what I mean? And
Gotcha.
so I think that was my biggest mistake with that first show. And but I will vend again. I'm vending in the Vegas show actually, because Vegas is 3 hours away from me, and I got a lot of crazy stuff coming up. And I think from the Las Vegas show, there's a lot of like the mid tier stuff too there. So like maybe the 500 to maybe 4,999 space around there too. So I've been bringing a lot of like Hurricane Clown stuff and Super Blade combos and Desert Ghost Head Clown stuff to that show. So yeah, I'm gonna just do it. Even when I don't have anything to like a big inventory, I might bring like just a little display and show some like the double recessives I'm working on and things like that, just to kind of be there. And it's fun, man. But what I'm not doing is traveling halfway around the country with these damn animals, because the 3 hour drive is already too much.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So ain't no way I'm bringing these animals. I'm driving to Texas or Illinois. Nah, I go to those shows, have a good time, buy some snakes, meet some people, but I will vend locally, like inside of 3 hours from me.
Gotcha,
I said a whole lot. I said a whole lot to say.
To say now I would. Yeah.
That was a whole lot to go. Yeah, I'm in, and I would again, but at first I didn't.
No, that's all right. That is all right. So, one of my questions that I really like to ask: how did Bell become such a, I'm gonna use the word throwaway. That's extreme. Because you can still make money, but
right.
how did the Bell become like,
like the lower end?
Yeah, because
the same thing happens to every other GMO ball pythons, man. The mass production of it. People saw it as a hot commodity item at one time, so people like invested big money into those projects, and instead of improving on it, just duplicated it to make sure they got their money back. You know. So think about like you were around with the whole banana craze and the GHI craze, right? Like when those things came around, they were 30 grand a piece. So imagine you scratch up $30,000 for a banana male, right? It's a male banana. You get it early in the year. So say you pick it up from a friend like December. Let's say December 2007, right? I don't forget the year, but let's say 2007. You pay 30 grand for that bad boy. Your brain gonna go, all right, man, feed this dude, grow him up, stick that mug to every female in these racks, and get this money back. So even after that first year, it goes from $30,000 for a male banana to, let's say, even $15,000. If half the animals in there of the 10 females you bred him to are banana, and on an average of 6 clutches, so let's say what, 3 times 6, you made 30 banana males at $20,000 a piece. you balling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and because everybody was always scared that the ball python market was going to crash. Every year I've always heard man, if you get this project, bro, you better strike while the iron's hot and sell these things because, man, the ball python market is going to tank and nobody's not going to buy them things. You're going to be stuck with all these animals. Every year I've been hearing that since I've had ball pythons, bro. It's never changed. So now people are wising up instead of going to there and just taking these single gene stuff and breeding the heck out of it. When the bells came around, they were like, what, $25,000 too? When somebody put a Mojave and the lesser and the Mojave together, they was like, oh my God, look at this white snake. Everybody like white snakes. Is it like a band called White Snake or some shit? Like, right? So when people started doing that, man, it was nuts. And a lot of the newer people now, that's what attracts their eyes when they go through, because you don't see white snakes in the wild, you know.
No.
So you flip it. So when we flip it through a book, if books even exist anymore, or like or somebody's YouTube, and see a white snake, your antennas go up, and everybody likes them too. So sometimes I make a bell accidentally, and that I cannot keep them in. I can't keep them in stock, bro. Cannot.
So you hitting on what that's why I always ask that question. I want to hear everybody's thoughts on it, because music videos, even today, if somebody want a snake in their music video, black snake, white snake, it ain't gonna be, no in between too much. Something recognizable. They may have an anaconda or cobra, but other than that, it's gonna be a white snake or a black snake. And I'm like, man, I'm hearing people talk so disrespectful about their bells, and I'm like, I guess.
Nah, man, those things are a hot commodity, bro. Like if I decided that if there was like a big shows within a couple of hours of me that came out like every few months, I would actually have like a bell program where I'm making bells all the time and selling people. But that's just not really my thing, you know what I mean? So like I said, sometimes I might hit something trying to go for some other things, and I'll hit them as a residual, and man, I'll show that thing right out of the egg. That thing would be sold before I hit send on that day. You know what I mean? So so it's cool. But those people also are the hardest customers to deal with, because they're really not that experienced. So they want pictures of like the sides, the upside down. They want the snake's butthole in the picture. They want me to send a picture of the eyes, both sides, so I can prove that it is a blue-eyed Lucy and not something else. Like, they know the difference. Like, you actually what makes a blue-eyed Lucy? I don't know. It just occur like that. So yeah, I find out like every time I sell someone a snake under like 600 and less, all those people I have the most problems with. If I got an animal posted for $3,500 that goes, hey, is this available? Boom. All right, here's the money. Done. Quickest transaction ever, man. So, because those guys they know what they want normally.
Yeah, I tell people how I live by. I say, if I can't afford it, I don't buy it, and that's usually the key to, we talking about the buyer's remorse aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the car business on the retail side for 15 years.
Oh, nice.
And there's one thing that I never did on a car lot, that was sell a car, only because I was also a customer.
Mm-hmm.
So I was deep on the inside. I know every aspect. So I'm like, man, I'm not going to be sitting on the other side of that desk. And you over there bumping all that yah at me. But I'm like, no, I won't sell a car. I could, but I was like, I would not sell a car for that specific reason. People coming in, okay, you might need it, but can't afford it, and you can get something that's, no, that's not what they want. So they're like, well, I'm gonna get this right here. It's pretty. And forever, phone ringing, they knocking on the door. I'm like, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I've never been a real like car person like that, man. Cars just never been like. I like fuel efficiency and safety. I can get if I can get 6 hours on one tank of gas, and I mean, I'm not gonna drive like no Prius. I mean, no disrespect to Prius and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just never been me, man. So like, I like form and function. I think that's probably like my military side too. Because I've never been like the flashy car person. Because every time I've had a halfway decent car, that's when I got the most tickets, because I got pulled over.
Yep.
I had chrome rims on the car since I was 22 years old, man. I'm good.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Yeah, I would sell some. I would definitely sell some shiny ball pythons though. Some nice, pretty animals. But that's it, man. I'll leave my flexing to the animals.
Gotcha, gotcha. What what more? Ah, yeah, I can ask. The wormhole is so deep, but I'm gonna ask that question as is. What more impresses you right now?
So, I love what asphalt does to things, man. Asphalt, to the yellow belly complex. I love it because even when it's subtle and you accidentally put it to something else that has asphalt on both sides, to me, the super asphalt by itself is probably the most impressive combination ball python there is. That's simple to make too, So I'm trying to hit super asphalt clowns this year, super asphalt clown pies. Like I'm trying to put that into everything because it's such a complex pattern on that animal too, and it just so in one of my projects, so I'm trying to hit the stranger GHI spot nose red stripe asphalt clown. I'm gonna put it on both sides eventually to try to hit the super asphalt version of that, man. And it might drown everything out, but man, it just to me, it's just a mean looking animal, man. It just the super asphalt to me looks like it got powers and shit. So you know what I mean? Like it just like I just want to put one on the turntable with a light rig and go da 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 every time you know what I mean. Every time I see that combo, so I'm like I'm really super partial to that, man. So and then with the hurricane stuff, if I could make a super asphalt high booster clown, man, y'all can't tell me nothing. I ain't coming on nobody's show after that, bro. They're gonna be like, man, Antoine head too big. they're like, what he been up to, man? He just stared in his room at this super asphalt high booster clown he got, man, and he ain't said hi to us in months, bro.
So people looking for you in the daytime with a flashlight.
Man, I got goals, bro. Like just like the Sunset Puzzle project, man. She's got follicles now, you know what I mean? And it's long shot odds. It's 1 in 16 odds to hit the Sunset Puzzle. But man, I'm excited and scared at the same time, Like I know it's gonna be a lot of critics. No matter how this thing comes out and looks, because we don't know. No matter how this thing looks, it's gonna be half of the population going, oh, it's so ugly. I don't like Sunset. What's it gonna do when it gets 300 grams and it browns out? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's how a lot of people feel about Sunset. And guess what? I feel the same way because I say it. That's why I know people are going to say it. People. I see a Sunset combo when it's hatched. Somebody, like when the Sunset Pie came out, I was like, man, it looks nice now, but let's see it at 300, 400 grams. Guess what? At 300, 400 grams, still looks nice. Pie was one of the other recessors that kept the reddish looking pattern on it, and it's not browning out, man. I just saw Justin's back in March. That thing looks good, man. So somebody just hit the Sunset Lavender albino. That's the closest thing we got right now to a red snake. It looks dope. I want to see it shed and get some signs on it too. But the Sunset and Puzzle together, man, I'm hoping it's like a really, really complex pattern the way I like the super asphalt stuff. And if I hit a male, he's staying. He's getting bred to every single recessive in his house too. And we're just gonna move on from there. You know what I mean? If it's too dark of an animal, I'm gonna put some light stuff to it. If it got too much pattern on it, I'm gonna try to do some pattern reduction stuff with it. You know what I mean? So it just all depends on how it comes out and how we're gonna tweak it. But I'm looking beyond. That's not the end all be all. If I get these things at the end of the year and it's a big deal, it comes out and people start making articles about it, and Justin comes to my house, that's fine. But I want to see what's past that. You know what I mean? I want to see the Lavender Sunset Puzzle, the Ultramel Sunset Puzzle, the Desert Ghost Sunset Puzzle. That's where I want to go with that thing, man. I'm trying to make some dangerous animals up in here, man. Like, I want that heat, and I'm not stopping until you know what I mean. These things back here producing some power, So,
gotcha. Already, hey, bro, we at the 54-minute mark. I'm gonna open the floor up for you. Plug whatever you want. If you got some words of inspiration, promotes whatever, I'm gonna open the door up for you right now.
Yeah, man. I just want to say, I just appreciate everybody's love and support over the past couple years, man. I will be at Daytona. I will be at Arlington. I will be at Tinley, and I will be in Vegas definitely the rest of this year. So if you want to come up to me and come say, hey, I will speak and take pictures with 100% of everybody who wants me to. Like I come there for the followers, for the fans, for my peers to come out and have a good time. So don't ever be like, oh, you were talking to Brian Cusco, and I didn't want to. You know what I mean? No, come up. We're gonna take a picture, tag me in that bad boy. I'm gonna repost it for you. We're gonna have a good time. And man, there's no such thing as dreaming too big, man. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. That's all I gotta say about that, man. So follow me on Hot Desert Pythons everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. All that mess too, man. Hey, I appreciate you having me, brother, man. I had a great time. Thank you for letting me run my mouth. You know what I'm saying? And no, guys, I'm not high. My eyes, this is how they don't get no bigger than this. So, but I appreciate you, brother, man. Thanks for having me on, man. I had a freaking blast.
Most definitely, man. I appreciate you, most definitely. And yes, it was off the hook. This is what I'm gonna do, though, man. I'm in the process because I used to stream I used to have every Friday and Saturday off. You know, I was rolling. I was rolling for like 2 years, man. Now, my schedule moves forward a day every week. So I got 4 weeks where there's no weekends. I'm working on making another move to kind of solidify myself in a spot. Cause I don't like having that limitation, man. Cause I talk. You know, I talk also. You know, I don't like okay, God, I'm having to watch this clock, and it's messing up my questions, you know.
I feel that, bro. That's why I stopped doing lives. I was like, oh, this. I was like, man, you guys are awful. I was like, this ain't for me, man. Because most of the time I was hosting lives, I was doing most of like the rambling on, so I might as well just do one myself. You know what I mean? So just sit there by myself and just talk. So, but yeah, man. But thanks a lot for having me, bro, man.
Most definitely.
This was an honor, man. Like even you reaching out to me. I watched all your shows before, man, and I ain't gonna lie, I felt the way. I didn't tell nobody. I was like, man, how come he ain't never messaged me to be like? I'm like, this is bullshit. Like he never messaged. I'm like, oh, everybody else messaged me to be on this show, but the show, no, because it's like the show you want to be on. You know what I'm saying? Like, then that's the one that like people don't hit you up about. So I was like, man, I ain't gonna say that too. I'm just wait my turn, man, and see what happens. So thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. I had this list, and I plug people in the list. I'm gonna holler at him. I'm gonna holler at him. I'm gonna holler at him. I holler at him. Yes, no, yes. But the list wasn't even, how can I put it? It didn't even reflect who was scheduled. It was like kind of, man, I want that list, I wants list. Man, I went through this whole phone. I had an Android phone temporarily. I was locked out of my my iCloud account. This is a new phone, and I've only been back in my iCloud for maybe 4 days. And it's been a month or two, you know, and when I say it knocked everything out of whack, man, it knocked everything out of whack, man. Cool. But you were definitely on my list, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, go look, me and Nicole that talked about you, man. That's how, so you know it's real. Me and Nicole that talked about you.
Oh, nice.
And I got all discombobulated, man. I'm like, man, I don't even know who's next? Maybe somebody will message me. They'll message me and remind me, you know what I'm saying? Let me get out of here, because see now I just started talking. Look, I'm at 58 minutes. Hey, if y'all watching this, thank you for coming through and taking the time to checking us out, seeing what Mr. Antoine got going on. And I'm gonna try to have him back on here where we can ramble for real.
Smash that like button. Smash it.
Share it out. Y'all make sure y'all check this out on any of the iPod catchers out there. Did I say iPod? My fault. Is it podcast catchers? There you go. Podcast catchers out there. We love you. Take care of those animals and tell somebody else that you love them. We out of here. Peace.